You know we got to talk about it. Did the Chicago Bulls make a mistake trading away Jimmy Butler? What's going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about the Chicago Bulls and here to talk about if they made a mistake trading away one Jimmy Butler. Folks, it's been 6 years since the Bulls traded him away back in 2017. We are now in 2023, and Jimmy Butler is still making them pay for it. He is almost on his way to the NBA Finals, 2 wins away against the Boston Celtics, taking out the number 2 seeded Boston Celtics as a number 8 seed in the Miami Heat. So I've seen this question pop up everywhere on social media, on NBA Twitter, everywhere imaginable. And this topic obviously has been going on for a while now, since 2020, when obviously the Miami Heat went to the NBA Finals and lost to the Lakers in the bubble. And, I probably talked about it back then, but I thought, look, we got to revisit this. And we got to paint the entire story. We got to talk about the full picture. We can't just talk about partial or a little bit of it. We got to talk about the entire thing. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, a drink, whatever the case is. I'm going to break it all down. All right, we got to start with this. Short answer. Did the Bulls make a mistake trading away Jimmy Butler? Yes. Short answer is yes. Okay? If you wanted just a short answer, there you have it. It is yes. How can you not say otherwise? The man has now essentially gone to 2 NBA Finals. I think he's going to beat the Boston Celtics, but even if he doesn't, gone to a Finals and a Conference Finals. The Bulls haven't even been back there since the Derrick Rose injury. Like, how can you not say that, right? The Bulls haven't sniffed that. They've been in this purgatory of mediocrity in the East, and it's been bad. It's just been bad. So they lost the trade. But let's talk about the long answer, because I think it's more interesting and more nuanced, okay? The long answer is this. Situations matter, people. Situations matter. And what I'm about to say is not an excuse for the Chicago Bulls. I'm just trying to paint the entire story. What do I mean by situations matter? Well, the Miami Heat are not the first team that Jimmy Butler went to after he got traded from the Bulls. In fact, he went to 2 other teams. He got traded, obviously, to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then he went to the Philadelphia 76ers. Both teams didn't have much success. Now, the Timberwolves did go to the playoffs with Jimmy, and the Sixers, I think, would have obviously gone far, but then the Kawhi shot happened, and, that's all she wrote. But the fact of the matter is they did not go to the NBA Finals or win a championship with either of those 2 teams. And obviously the Timberwolves traded away Jimmy Butler, and the Philadelphia 76ers made the decision not to sign Jimmy Butler. And that's why he signed with the Heat. I say situations matter because when you see a player doing something in a certain situation, you got to think, could he do this with any other team? A lot of the times that's not the case. All right? Now, with the Chicago Bulls, it was a very interesting situation because if you guys remember, man, when Jimmy had sort of, gotten his stride, become an all-star for us, we had developed him. The Bulls really developed Jimmy. He was the 30th overall pick in the first round, man. Talk about value there. As much flack as you give Garden Packs, boy, could they draft well. They drafted Jimmy, and he was fantastic. And it took him a while under Tibbs to obviously find his footing. Barely got minutes with that whole group, right, where Derek was the MVP. You had Joakim Noah, you had Carlos Boozer, you had Luol Deng, and all these guys. But then finally Jimmy started taking those incremental steps, and he became an all-star, blossoming in front of our very eyes with D-Rose. But then D-Rose was on the downhill because of the injuries, and now you had to face the question, hey, is Jimmy Butler good enough to build your team around? That was the question that the front office had to ask themselves, because that was the decision that they had to make, because Derrick Rose was no longer Derrick Rose. He was no longer MVP Derrick Rose. And the answer they came up with was, no, Jimmy Butler is not good enough to be a player that you can build a championship team around. Now, they were wrong in that, because you have seen that be not the case with Miami. If a team gets to the NBA Finals, that's technically a championship contending team. And now we know it's not a fluke, because he's about to go back there again. So Garden Packs were wrong about that. Right? That's why I said short answer is, yeah, they made a mistake. But let's go into a little bit more detail here. The culture that the Heat have with Pat Riley and that ownership and that front office, the coaching that they have with Eric Spoelstra there, who's been there forever now, and he's a top 5 coach, one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. The roster that they surrounded themselves with. All of those things have to come into play here when we talk about would he have done this with the Bulls. Because I'll give you an example. When we took a look at football, we can go back to obviously the Chicago Bears making the monumental mistake of passing up on Patrick Mahomes and drafting Mitchell Trubisky. I know it hurts to think about, but just hear me out. When the Bears did that, and they passed up on Mahomes, obviously we know that was a mistake. But if you really think about it, do you really think Mahomes would have won a championship, a Super Bowl with the Bears, with Matt Nagy and the weapons that Mitch had, right? Which was A-Rob, Mooney, David Montgomery. So no Andy Reid. You get Matt Nagy, no Andy Reid, and you get lesser weapons. No Travis Kelce, no Tyreek Hill. Now, I know he won without Tyreek Hill, but he had him in for the first Super Bowl. None of those elite weapons. Not a great offensive line. So, not a great GM. So, Mahomes probably would have still been elite. He would have still been a Pro Bowler. He would have still been a top 5-10 quarterback. But would he have been Patrick freaking Mahomes with the Bears? Probably not. Probably not. And so that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here is, yes, the Bulls made a mistake trading Jimmy Butler, but I fully believe Jimmy doesn't realize his potential with the Bulls because the infrastructure wasn't in place. It wasn't in place. It's the same reason that Lowry didn't blossom with us. It was the wrong coach, wrong system, just wrong environment. And Lowry, very similar to Jimmy, had the same situation where he goes to the Cavs, right? And doesn't do anything significant there because they also did not have the proper structure and the proper setting and the proper environment. And now he goes to the Jazz where they finally have kind of a system and they tell Lowry, hey, we're going to work you to your skill sets, to your strengths. And he blossoms. So that's the point I'm trying to make here, people, is every situation isn't the same. Yes, the talent will shine through, but the team success probably won't. The player success to that level probably won't. So yeah, Jimmy would have been still an all-star with us, still a great player, but would we have built around him like how Miami did? Would we have gotten him a coach like Eric Spoelstra? Would we have the culture in place like Miami does? Probably not. It is just a picture-perfect situation for Jimmy in Miami. It wasn't able to be replicated in Minnesota or Philly or Chicago. And that's just the cold, hard truth. Same thing with Lowry marketing. And so, again, they made a mistake here. But do I think they would have been able to have that success here with Chicago? I'd like to think so. But history tells me otherwise. So it's sad in a way, but also I'm happy for Jimmy because I love the success he's having here. But man, would it have been nice if it was with the Chicago Bulls. So essentially that's where I'm at, people. Again, short answer is they made a mistake. So don't try to twist this into saying that I'm making excuses for the Bulls because no, I'm not. They made a mistake. But I'm giving you the full story. Probably doesn't happen here in Chicago. We just didn't have the right pieces and the right infrastructure and environment in place for Jimmy to blossom like he did with the Heat to go that far. He would have still been a damn good player, but heading to the second NBA Finals in 3 years, I don't know about that good. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you think I'm right or wrong. We'll talk about it as always. Thanks for watching.